A lot of people think that because they have a difficult situation and they can't possibly see how it could ever change to something better, then they can't manifest. If this is you, I have good news for you. That is not the case. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you why and how you can end up manifesting your desired outcome from any difficult situation, no matter how impossible it may look, and hopefully help you gain your confidence or get your confidence back and manifest experiences that you choose. With that said, welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm a manifestation coach. On this channel, I teach the law of assumption as taught by Neville Goddard while also keeping it simple and practical so that you can take it and apply it to your own manifestations right away. If that's what you were looking for, you're definitely in the right place. So please subscribe and stay for more. And if you happen to need any additional help with your manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below. So when I get a lot of how when someone comes to me with their situation and desire to manifest something better. And you have heard, if you have any experience in manifestation, you have probably heard the how is not your concern. But it's so difficult for people to see how they could possibly manifest a better situation from a difficult 3D circumstance. You need to understand how manifestation works. And I feel like I'm saying this in every video, but it's so important because when you understand it and also accept how it works, it's going to save you a lot of struggle and pain. Because manifestation is your imagination pushed out to your physical reality, which means that the current circumstance you are in was manifested from your own mind. That alone, no matter how messy your situation looks, that alone gives you a lot of power. So you manifested it and you can unmanifest it. I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to use it. So when you look at your 3D circumstance and you feel like it's impossible, it could never change. A lot of times it's about SPs. People have been rejected. Their person has said to them that they could never ever want to be with them, or there's third party. There is a lot of resentment. Sometimes people have been arguing badly and they just can't see how the other person could ever come back from a situation like that. This is how. It's imagination that creates reality. It's your imagination that is being manifested outwards, which means that it has nothing to do with your current circumstances. And I know that we experience life as events that go from one to another and they are interconnected. But in reality, that is not how we manifest. You manifest from what you keep imagining from now. In the now. It's always now. And this attachment we have to the past, and by the way, attachment is not a word you will hear me use a lot, but in this case, I find that it's the right word to do. A lot of people have this strong attachment to the past, even when it's bad. And by that, I mean that you take what happened, like for example, a horrible argument with your SP, you take that as a solid fact that happened and can't possibly change because you had the argument, you said the bad things and they said horrible things. How could you possibly manifest a loving relationship where there are no problems? When you're manifesting, your mind doesn't analyze. Your mind, and it's especially this, we're operating from the subconscious when we are manifesting. So it's first the conscious thought that you create, the conscious story, the new story that you create consciously, and you repeat it to yourself or you relive it in your mind until it starts sinking into your subconscious. So your subconscious starts accepting it as true, your state changes, etc., etc. And then it gets pushed out. So when something sinks into your subconscious because you have repeated it and because you have accepted it and felt it as true, your subconscious mind is never going to start analyzing, hey, but you had that argument, or hey, but you had that hip pain, or hey, you had that thing yesterday or 10 years ago or 2 weeks ago. I can't manifest this for you. Your subconscious, and I often say this, if you have been following me, I often say that it doesn't care. It does not care about your past. It does not care about your frustration. It does not care about the fact that you want it now. It does not care about your suffering, your happiness, nothing at all. There is like absolute no judgment from your subconscious or from your imagination or from God, which is your wonderful human imagination, quote from Neville Goddard. So it's whatever you imagine. So it's up to you to get detached. Again, just like I don't like the word attachment, I also don't like the word detaching in manifestation. It has created a lot of confusion for people. But again, this is the case where I think I need to use it. You need to detach from your past experience, from your current experience, and from how you identify yourself or what you identify yourself with. That is up to you. When you do that, and you can find different ways of doing it. I have several videos about how to get rid of limiting beliefs and free yourself from resistance and stuff like that. That is what you do, essentially. And you realize also that just because I had this experience, it doesn't mean I can't have a different experience, because it's when you start simply imagining a relationship that you want, things are going to change in a way that you can't possibly know. And I also get asked a lot, but how would this ever change? Or how long do I need to wait? And these are questions that no one can answer for you. Not even you, not even me, not even anyone else, not... What you need to do is simply find a way that works for you to start accepting the new story. Once you do that, your mind will figure out the way. I have had manifestations, and I have probably mentioned this in some of my older videos, where I wanted something and it looked absolutely impossible. Like there was no way I could possibly see how that could ever happen. Like impossible situations, like you have no idea. But I wanted the thing, and this was like, it has happened several times. And especially in the beginning, when I had just started to understand how this works. It was in the beginning of me finding Neville Goddard, actually, not the very beginning. So what I did was I told myself, I have no idea how this could ever manifest, but I know that if I keep repeating this thought, and if I keep imagining the end, somehow it has to happen. It is the law. I have been promised that. So that is what I do. With that decision, if you can make a decision like that, it is going to make your life so much easier, because I remember and this was a decision that I made after a lot of over-analyzing, but what if this, but what if that? A lot of you guys go through stuff like that, I know that. So once I told myself, like, okay, I don't know, I don't care. I'm sick of it. I'm also sick of myself being in this state. So I'm going to repeat the heck out of this until it manifests, and it has to manifest. I concluded that it has to manifest just because I repeat the story. End of story. And guess what? I have manifested every single one of those things. Because, again, your mind doesn't care where you're at. Your circumstances are a result of your imagination anyway. Even though you don't think that you imagined that horrible scenario, something has to have happened in your mind for you to manifest it. Sometimes things manifest from general assumptions. Sometimes what I'm saying is that you don't have to specifically imagine that specific scenario for it to manifest. A lot of things manifest from our general assumptions. People are like this, men are like this, women are like this, stuff like that. And a lot of times it manifests from your self-concept. And that is why I find self-concept one of the most important things that you can do, probably the most important thing that you can do for yourself. I have a whole playlist with self-concept where I also explain the difference between self-concept and manifestation and self-love. Both very important. Self-love, self-worth. So check that out. And this is where a lot of problems manifest in relationships, especially. It's not because the relationship is not working. A lot of times it's not it. And it's not because the person is bad. It's because we have assumptions about ourselves that have to manifest. Because just like your mind doesn't care about what horrible situation you are in, and it will manifest your desired outcome if you simply dare to assume it as true, dare to imagine it. The same way your mind doesn't care if you have a bad assumption about yourself and that is going to hurt you if it manifests. There's no, like Joseph Murphy says, the law is no respecter of persons. That's how it works. It's like gravity. You fall down, you're going to hit the ground. You can be a powerful person or you can be very innocent, the best person in the world. Gravity works equally. And it's the same with the law of assumption. Every assumption you keep is going to manifest. The good thing about it is that it manifests and you have it right in front of you. Even if you weren't aware that you had that horrible assumption, maybe about yourself, it manifests and now you have become aware of it. And you have the chance to take it and change the story about yourself. Or about the scenario, about the person, whatever it is. So what I'm saying with this video is that when we say imagination creates reality, no one is saying imagination creates reality except when it's really difficult. Imagination creates reality, period. You just need to dare to imagine your desired outcome and be careful without taking 3D limitations with you into your imagination. This is also where a lot of people, I want to say, go wrong because there's no need for you to take the 3D limitation into your imagination. And what I mean by this is, for example, you have had a horrible argument with your SP or what have you. You start imagining how the situation could possibly solve. So maybe they apologize, maybe you start explaining to them how they hurt you and they understand, etc. Why are you doing that? Why are you creating the problem in your mind already? Even though you think it's a solution, it's halfway there and you're still telling your mind that there's a problem, actually. There's a problem and I want the apology. And if you want the apology, you can manifest. You can manifest whatever you want. If you need the apology, manifest it. But what I'm saying when I say that imagination is limitless and it doesn't care about any problem that you could have had or any impossible situation that you can be facing with, dare to start imagining a situation where you're past these problems. a beautiful relationship where there is no problem. Why are you imagining that? Your imagination is only as limited as you limit it. Otherwise, it's not limited. You can literally imagine no problem in your relationship, everything happy, loving, kind, etc. The same goes for those of you who are manifesting health, weight loss. Don't take any 3D limitation into your imagination. Start thinking to yourself, what do I want? What do I want? Do I want to, for example, do I want to accept that I am overweight and I'm losing weight? Or do I want to maybe go as far as to say I've never been overweight, I have always been slim, naturally thin, fit, if that's what you want, healthy, strong, that's just who I am. Your mind would manifest it. But of course, you can go step by step. There is no limit to what you can do. What I'm trying to say is that you don't have to limit your imagination based on your 3D circumstances. Circumstances are just circumstances, and they only tell you what you can have or can't have if you take the circumstances into your imagination. You start dwelling on it. You start really you feel attached to it in an unhealthy way that I can't let go of. I don't want to say let go of what happened, even though that's eventually what needs to happen. And I know it's difficult, but you need to find a way to not get attached to your own story. And the best way to do it is to replace it. Your mind only knows what happened or what is happening based on what you tell it. So even though you're making stuff up and you repeat it, at some point it's going to accept it and manifest it, regardless of your impossible situation. First of all, also, please stop calling it impossible. It's just a situation. From a spiritual perspective, no matter how messy and hurtful it is in the physical, from your mind's perspective, from the spiritual realm, which is the place where we are manifesting from, it's simply a situation. It's either this situation or that situation. Everything in your reality is manifested from your imagination. So I hope this was, I hope this clarified for you that you don't have to, again, easy for me to say, I know, but you don't have to worry that you can't manifest what you want just because you can't see how it could happen. Leave the how, that creates a lot of pain for you if you're really attached to, but how could it possibly? It doesn't matter how. That's not your job to figure out. It's not my job to figure out, even as a coach. Like, that is not how we how we manifest. You manifest by imagining what you actually want. And that's it. Is it difficult? Yes, it can be very difficult, very hurtful. But there are ways. There are ways, just like I said earlier in the video, there are ways for you to be free from the negativity that is going on in your mind, the negative story, the resistance, the fear, the doubt. It's all normal, you have it, but there are ways you can get rid of it, and none of it matters. No, your circumstance doesn't matter in any of those cases. In none of the cases, that was what I was probably trying to say, none of the cases does your circumstance matter. Because it's your mind that manifests, not the 3D. The 3D has nothing to do with your manifestation. Unless you keep dwelling on it, and then again it goes back to your imagination and your mind. So pay attention to what you keep holding on to. Leave it, let it go, you don't need it. Even though it's hard, leave it. Start accepting that you're manifesting from your mind, and start accepting that your mind doesn't care what you're going through. And I don't mean to sound mean or I'm diminishing your pain or anything like that, but your mind really does not care. It can be very painful. You can still manifest the biggest love or the biggest success, and your mind will manifest it anyway. And then it's up to you to figure out which methods work for you and apply it and persist until you get it. No 3D circumstance could possibly be the reason why you can't manifest any outcome of that situation that you want. It's only your mind. So this was it for today. I really, really hope that this was encouraging for you. My intention for this video was mostly to help you gain your confidence back, because you shouldn't struggle. That I truly believe that life is not meant to be a struggle, especially when we have this wonderful mind of ours, imagination that we can use. It's an instrument to have the experiences that we want to have. It's beautiful, and it can be very, very, the journey itself can be very beautiful. And you know what else? We also learn from this struggle. We've all been through it. And at some point you actually learn that, hey, wait a minute, I am manifesting. I have manifested every desire I've ever wanted. Why do I let myself struggle so much? And you learn with experience that there's no need for you to hold on to the fear and hold on to any old beliefs you had about yourself or about your life. And it becomes easier. I promise you, it becomes easier with time. No matter how much you're struggling, no matter how difficult your circumstance or your situation looks, it becomes easier. You just need to do the work. That is a requirement. So I need to wrap this up because I have been talking for 22 minutes now. And once again, if you need any additional help with your manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below, and see you in the next video.